Oh, that song makes me so happy. This is Trivial Thursdays on WRFL. Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway there with San Joaquin. About a year ago this time, I had a wonderful conversation with Molly Tuttle on the show about that song. We were talking about how it was kind of the modern equivalent of like a bootlegger song, only with the substance changed. uh, I'd like to welcome Erin Rouse to the show. Erin works at the Bluegrass Museum and Hall of Fame. I always get the words a little bit mixed up there. Aaron, welcome to Trivial
Hi,
Thursdays.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. You're coming to us from Owensboro, right?
Yes, I am in Owensboro, Kentucky, right on the Ohio River.
Indeed. At the fabulous Bluegrass Music Museum and Hall of Fame. What a facility you have there. And I always never like to have a segment about this without shouting out Terry Woodward,
Yes.
who had this kind of vision for Owensboro, decades in the making in some ways. And I'm sure that you've crossed paths with Terry a good number of times. He's a
Oh
significant,
yeah.
yeah.
Yes,
He's
yes. He kind of started it all. So
it's I'm always just a little bit in awe of that in some ways. It's like, I mean, I know tons and tons of people have worked on this, but he was kind of the vision guy from back at a time when people were like, yeah, okay, and so it's taking time. And I mean, ROMP, for instance, has grown from. Is this the third venue or the second venue for ROMP? I can't remember. I know it was at
this is
English Park to start out with.
this is the second place it's been.
Yeah, and now this is which is it's is it Yellow Creek Park? Is that what it's called?
Yes. So it started. Everybody always wants to know what romp means. So it started on the Ohio River, and it stands for River of Music Party. And we really don't go by that name anymore. We just go by romp. But yeah, so it started on the river, and we just got too big for that location. So now we have it at a park in our county, just about 10 minutes from our museum here, and it's the perfect spot.
Yeah, it's as an Owensboroan, it is much more than a park. As a matter of fact, I really didn't have a lot of experience with Yellow Creek Park until ROMP came along. It just seems like such an incredibly appropriate venue for this festival. And it's I mean it's just so much more than a park. It's more
Yeah,
much more than a park.
yeah, we're really lucky that the county kind of lets us take over for about a week and a half, and they're really great to work with. And we went out there a few weeks ago, and we had a few new staff members and kind of just gave them the lay of the land, and I was like, this will look nothing like this when when we bring everything and start building everything. So it'll make a lot more sense in June.
Right.
Yeah.
Now you guys have a I'm going to pull this poster up here for those who are watching the show on Facebook Live.
Yeah.
You guys, we just heard from Molly Tuttle and Golden Highway, and
Yes.
this their third or maybe fourth romp. I'm not sure.
This is their third romp in a row, I believe.
Yeah,
But yeah, I don't, as a staff member, we don't get to see a lot of the music that goes on, but she's definitely one every year that I try to see at least a song or two. Um, and it's always just such a good energy that she
I was
brings.
gonna. It's sort of a ironic and contradictory thing to say for an acoustic instrument band, but they are so electric.
They really are. They always bring a great crowd. So definitely excited that they're back.
Yeah, and you've got. I mean, if we look at some of the other people, Winona Judd highlighting the festival, maybe one of Kentucky's most celebrated musicians for sure.
Yes, yeah, she was inducted in the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. Um, she's no newbie to the music scene, but she's a romp newbie.
Right.
So we're really excited that that she's gonna be there, and she's a great fan base, and really cool to honor a Kentucky musician like that.
Indeed, it is. You've got you've got three Hall of Fame situations, right?
Yes.
Those
Yes.
are
We, this is, I don't, I'm sure it's happened before, but I just think this is one of the coolest parts about the festival this year is we've got three of our Hall of Famers coming to perform. And I just think that's such a great way to honor them. And along with coming to ROMP, your ROMP wristband gets you into the museum exhibits for free. So that'll be such a cool thing to come and see their plaque, read a little bit about them, and then go and see them live.
Let's see, Erin, we're talking to Erin Rouse of the Bluegrass Music Museum and Hall of Fame. And we're talking about ROMP, of course, which is, it's a little ways off, but it's not too early to start planning. June 25th through 28th. Yeah. And I believe tickets are well on sale at this point.
Yeah. So we offer, so it's a 4-day festival, and we on sale now are 4-day tickets or single-day tickets. We have a general admission option, and then we have VIP tickets as well if you want a little more elevated festival experience. But ROMP itself is it's produced by the Bluegrass Music Hall of Fame and Museum, and it's one of our biggest fundraisers for the year. And our mission is the preservation of bluegrass through education. And so we have a really big education program here that consists of a lot of different things. Mainly, we have a big lesson program. And so, instruments are expensive and we have to pay teachers. And so we have a scholarship program as well. So we never deny anyone who wants to be a part of that. And so it's great that we can use ROMP to to support that mission.
That's Erin Rouse. Erin, you talk about the Hall of Fame. We mentioned several Hall of Fame players, which, as you mentioned, is in Owensboro, right there at the museum.
Yes.
And I think it's interesting. There's so much. Like, one of the things you guys have, like this, I think, a trolley that sort of goes from ROMP to the museum.
Yes.
And at any given time, the museum has wonderful things happening. I think the Jerry Garcia exhibit, which was stunning and also received international attention, is down. I believe that's down, right?
No, it'll still be there
good.
March of 2026. So it'll still be there and plenty of time for you to come and see it during ROMP. And then we just opened a new exhibit all about John Hartford, which is really cool if you haven't seen that. But yeah, so our city partners with us, and they offer a free trolley that runs on a continuous loop from the festival grounds to our museum. And again, your ROMP ticket gets you into the exhibits for free. So it's definitely something good to do, maybe on a morning before the music starts or in the afternoon.
Hey, I think one of your performers just showed up, and I wanted to bring them in. I believe Ben Sollee is here, who I'm always delighted to get to visit with. And Ben is making his debut at ROMP this year, I believe. There he is. Ben coming to us from the road.
That's right.
Hello, Ben Sollee.
Hey, friend.
I knew you could do this. You've got musician original sound on, I hope, right? you know that stuff.
I would normally have all that stuff set up. We're on our way to a show in Woodstock, New York.
Yeah.
And we have stopped at the one place that was available to stop on the Grapevine Drive in Almond. Where are we? Almond, New York. You know where that is?
Okay. I don't, but it sounds to me like you're closer to your destination than you are from home. So.
Exactly. Got it.
Hey, so you might want to check. I don't know if you can check it or not, but you might want to check and see if Original Sound for Musicians is on, because you're sounding maybe kind of watery, and I don't want you to sound. Give me a bow. Can you give me a bow on your? Yeah, I think see if you can find that, and we can keep chatting for a second if you like. If you'd like to try to find that.
Give me 2 seconds. We literally just pulled off the road.
Yeah, no problem. Take your time in so much as you can. Erin Rouse is here of the Bluegrass Music Museum and Hall of Fame. We're talking about ROMP, which is coming up. And you said the new John Hartford exhibit. John Hartford, I have found, attracts a really rabid fan base. I don't know if that's been your experience or not.
Yeah, so it seems like it's been that way for both the Jerry Garcia exhibit and the John Hartford exhibit. There's a little crossover of fans, but they both have a really dedicated fan base, and so we've really started to do some events that go beyond the exhibits themselves. So we've had lots of weekend long events that pair up with the exhibits. So, you know, people can go and read about the artists and then come and attend the show and hear their songs. So it's been a really great new audience that has come to visit us, especially with the Grateful Dead crowd. But you know, they're some of the best people and just have such a good energy.
And you know, it bears noting. I saw the exhibit and it was really impressive, and I saw the Deadheads too. But but the exhibit taught me something that, you know, some people know and others don't. But the unbelievably seminal role that Jerry Garcia played in bluegrass, and I have to say I didn't really know that. He at one point he came to Kentucky to try to be a member of Bill Monroe's Bluegrass Boys, before he started to take off in other directions. And so, and it just, you know, I just have to say, I was telling my California Deadhead friends about this exhibit, and I was so freaking proud. I was like, yeah, California, you need to come to Kentucky to see this Jerry Garcia exhibit because it is just world class.
Oh, well,
I was
thank you.
completely bowled over by it.
Thank you. We made a lot of connections with his family, and they were very gracious and loaning a lot of his instruments and different different things we have on display. But the exhibit is called Jerry Garcia: A Bluegrass Journey, and
Yeah.
it really does touch on that kind of untold bluegrass history of how when he was younger he got in his Corvair and traveled around and followed Bill Monroe and you know wanted to be part of the band. I
Yeah.
think there's
Yeah.
a quote. We interviewed Del McCurry, and he was quoted saying, "Well, Del, I always wanted to be a bluegrass boy," and Del was like, "Well, why didn't you just say something? We needed some. You should have said something. We needed you."
Oh my God,
No,
that's really funny.
you you never know what would have happened if he joined that group.
That's right. Let's see. So there was something else about that I can't remember, but yeah. So and then the John Hartford exhibit, and these are all things that people can enjoy if they come to ROMP or Owensboro anytime, really. But you can really get your money's worth if you come during ROMP. It seems to me.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's see. So, excuse me. We when we talked about ROMP, we've got, I think Ben Sollee is here, and I think I hear something that makes me think that you're getting a better sound situation. So
Nope, it's the same. I don't think there's a musician setting on the phone.
okay. Okay. Well, congratulations. I want to say on a couple things. One of them is, of course, your recent album from last year, The Long Haul, which you are actually on a long haul right now. And
true. Yeah, I'm on a long haul for sure.
yeah. Although the record in some ways, I think, you know, I saw in the I saw a link in one of your emails, and I thought it was wonderful that you made a documentary about your longtime collaborator Jordan Ellis, who you lost, who we all lost, and I know that hit you very hard. And when I saw the documentary, the short that you made, I thought that must have been a healing thing to do.
Yeah, Jordan was my longtime musical collaborator, in many ways a brother, and he made the choice to leave the planet about 2 years ago, and I miss him a lot. He's a very common ghost in my life, and we had a lot of places that we wanted to play, that we dreamed about playing, and ROMP was one of them. So unfortunately, I won't get to come play with Jordan, but I am very excited to come play ROMP with some other great musicians from the Kentucky area. You know, Jordan, he had a really special way on the percussion, but he also had a way of being in the world that meant he collaborated with a lot of people all over Kentucky and beyond.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that you will honor him by playing at ROMP, and also I think people are just going to be pretty excited. You know, having seen you a number of times, that's the stage presence that you have is very compelling, and I'm kind of excited for you to play in front of the ROMP crowd.
Yeah, I'm excited. I know it's a big community, and um, you know, gonna try to do my best to bring some of my Kentucky roots to bear, as and but also keep things mixed up like I usually do.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Um, Ben Sollee is here on the road in New York. You're headed for Woodstock, is that right?
I've got a show in Woodstock tonight, and then onward to Victor, New York, and then down to Wilmington, Delaware. Eventually, touring our way into Charleston, West Virginia, for a show at the Clay Center. Um, and then we'll come back to Kentucky to play Sleeping in the Woods.
Yeah, that is this singer songwriter festival. I've actually got this um, poster of this. This looks like kind of a fun thing here. Here we go. Yeah, Sleeping in the Woods. You're playing that with Nicholas Jamerson and the Morning Jays, and Abby Hamilton. I see is there, and lots of great people. So,
Oh
is
my
this
God,
something
yeah.
have you done this one before?
I haven't. I last year I played the Americana Fest down in Nashville, and John Smithwick was down there, and we got to chat, and I was like, man, I'd love to come down there and play. And he's like, really? So here we are playing.
That's right. You got to watch out what you say to people who book shows in their own houses.
So true, so true. But I'm also
Let's
excited because Jerry Catherine Howell's on the festival, and she's one of my all-time favorite Kentucky songwriters.
Absolutely, yeah. It's quite a lineup you've got here, and that's just for Sleeping in the Woods. And like you said, you're playing ROMP 2, your debut at the ROMP Festival in Owensboro, and I know you need to get back on the road pretty soon here. You're traveling not by bike this time, I don't think, right? I'm not trying to call
No,
you
we're
out.
traveling by car, and it was an early start today to try to get there. Today's about an 8.5 hour drive.
Yeah. And did you start from Louisville? You live in Louisville, right?
Yeah, I live in Louisville, but we started from Cleveland today.
Okay. All right. And are you playing solo at those gigs? Is that
No, I've
I
got
know
a percussionist with me named Patrick Duke Granny, who
okay.
played on the new record Long Haul, and he's amazing. Sort of a disciple of Jamie Haddad, who's done a lot of the percussion work on Paul Simon's records.
Yeah.
So we're feel like I'm in good hands. I'm in very Paul
Excellent.
Simon-y hands right now.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a couple tracks, I've listened to The Long Haul quite a few times, and there have been times I'm like, what is this reminding me of? And there's just very much of a Paul Simon kind of strain that runs through, I feel like, the sound of your new record in particular.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, similar to Paul, I find inspiration in a really broad set of places, and this record spends a lot of time drawing influences from the American South, but also just the global South overall. You know, swinging down through Central America and even over into a lot of African influences. And to that end, I just tried to trust the resonance. So there wasn't anything intentional about it other than, hey, what's appealing to me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that kind of touches on something that I did want to ask you about. I feel like I've seen a lot lately of musical acts who I feel like we're in this incredible period for music where the silos have kind of come down in some ways. Like I think particularly of classical music and how classical musicians had a tendency up until somewhat recently, for the most part, to just really remain in that classical silo. And, maybe true for some other genres too, but more and more, I feel like those walls are coming down and you get people who are just so influenced and inspired by a variety of music. And Kentucky has a broad variety of music too. I'm curious what you have taken from your Kentucky roots in terms of how your music sounds. Do your Kentucky roots and what you listened to growing up, or maybe not until later. For me, in some cases, I find these people that are living legends who I missed for most of their lives. So I guess I'm just to summarize, like, what have your Kentucky roots brought to you in terms of like the kind of music that you play or aspects of your music?
Well, I think like a lot of Kentucky artists, I find myself uh, scratching my head sometimes, being like, "Where am I from?" Because it's such a between place, right? And so much of the music that Kentucky's become known for, that's become iconic from Kentucky, is actually immigrant music. You know,
Yes.
it's music of immigrants that has mingled together, mostly for geographic reasons. Like they ended up living or working in the same holler, or you know, same church or whatever, right? And so they ended up picking together and coming up with their own style. And I feel like I've continued that tradition, but I grew up in an era where, it was right the cusp of the internet becoming widely available, and then this rush of information that eventually led to the time that we're in now of you know algorithmic curation and access to music of the world at any time, any place. Being able to stream concerts from the roadside in Almond, New York. We
Right?
we just live in such a bizarre and strange era, and so I think that it's only natural that we continue to mix things up. For me, growing up in Kentucky, I just keep rediscovering how rich the time was that I grew up. In a family of R&B musicians, studying classical music and playing with the Central Kentucky Youth Orchestra, and then also having a grandfather who was an old time musician in Eastern Kentucky, and so all of that stuff kind of coming together to very unintentionally, organically, just I've been farming that land for a long time. That
That's
culture.
that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
I figure you guys, Erin and Ben, you guys have probably crossed paths, but I can just be a facilitator here. If Ben, if you have any romp questions for Erin, or Erin, if you have any romp questions for Ben.
Well, Ben, I just have this memory of you've been to Owensboro a few times when I was younger, and played at a venue here in town, and I just remember hearing such great things. And so when I saw that you were on the lineup, I was super excited, and I feel like the lineup is full of Kentucky musicians this year, and so that's something really exciting.
Yeah, I'm really excited to come and doing the romping. I mean, what if the crowd gets really energetic? Is there a certain like indicator that I should look for to know that they're in full romp mode?
I think you'll know. We have a area right at the front of the stage where that's where the dancing crew
I was
lands.
gonna say it's that clogger guy. You'll know if you see that clogger. There may be more than one of them. This guy who brings his own like clogging platform.
Yeah. We have some romp regulars that always kind of post up in their usual spot, but it's just such a great energy, and I think romp is special because it brings a lot of types of music together. So there's definitely something for everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. And should I have anything packed in my romp survival kit as an artist?
It gets a little warm, but we've been lucky the past few years.
Got it.
We take good care of the artists, so I think we'll have everything you need.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so the rest of us were out in the heat, but the artists do have air conditioning trailers. At least last year, I seem to remember that.
Yeah.
Hey Ben, I know you got to get on the road because you got to get somewhere. And I tell you what, why don't we play something off your album?
Yeah.
So that it sounds as swell as we all want it to. And another time, next time you visit, we'll do. We've done some wonderful live tracks on the show, but I want you to sound as good as possible. So let's play. You want to name something off the long haul that I can play to send you out and get you back onto cruise control?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love it if you play. I think for the romp crowd, they might really dig the "When You Gonna Learn" track. It's sort of got a little bit of a Muscle Shoals vibe, but still a little bit of Kentucky in it, and it's very much a message in a bottle to myself, to just remember that we all have a lot of innate intelligence and wisdom about us, and sometimes we just need a little bit of an invitation or a reminder to trust that instinct.
That sounds like a good thing to do to me. So we'll let you get on the road. Thank you, Ben Sollee, for stopping and visiting with us on your way to Woodstock, New York. And
Absolutely. Well, I'm excited to come play ROMP. It's been a long time dream of mine to come play at the festival, and I can't wait to see everybody there.
That's Ben Sollee. We're going to play something from The Long Haul. It's the last track here. It's called When You Gonna Learn. And Erin, let's come back and talk a little bit more after this. Ben will send you on your way. And this is Ben Sollee from his new album, The Long Haul, with When You Gonna Learn.
Thanks, y'all. Thanks, everybody.
Well, you're leaning strong with your blue ribbons on, trying to carry the weight of the world. It's such a heavy load. And you've been singing your song loud and proud, but you don't believe the words right now. You're just a humming along. Ooh, when you gonna learn you can't do this alone? You can cut your hair, put your best shoes on, drop a penny in the well and wish your life away. Call it a test of faith. Then a little Liza Jane comes a-calling your name. You try to resist, but oh, you want to escape all the pride and shame. Oh, when you gonna learn you ain't got nothing to prove? When you gonna learn you already know the truth? Oh, I see people running scared from who they want to be. They don't know there ain't no place you can run away. Run away, no, there ain't no place you can run away, yeah, yeah. And you can't figure out what this love is truly for. You got to give it away. And I can tell you right now, there ain't nothing perfect, but you got to find out what you're fighting for. What you're fighting for. Oh, when you're gonna learn, there ain't nothing but the truth. When you're gonna learn you're who you're willing to be. Oh, maybe you believe in fate and destiny. Well, the anger that you feel, although it might seem real, no, there ain't nothing making you feel that way. Feel that way, no, there ain't nothing making you feel that way. There ain't no angels in the sky, no devils in the sea, just the music within and the harmony. And if you're feeling low, we're gonna lift you high, but don't take it from you. The answer's inside. When you gonna work it out? 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 There ain't no angels in the sky, work it out. No devils in the sea, gonna work it out. Just the music within, you gonna work it out. And the harmony. There ain't no angels in the sky, no devils in the sea, just that music within, and the harmony. Oh, when you gonna learn, you already know the truth. so long. And when you're gonna learn, you already know the truth. Yes, oh, when you're gonna learn, you already know the truth.
Ben Sollee there. Trivial Thursdays here. This we heard from the album The Long Haul. The When You Gonna Learn was the track. Also, When You Gonna Learn, not just the When You Gonna Learn. Thanks to Ben for being on the show and popping in there for a second. We're back with Erin Rouse of ROMP, which is Owensboro's. Do you know what year this is?
22nd.
I thought you were going to say 2025, and I was like, God, I shouldn't have asked that.
Oh.
Yeah, that's June 22nd. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the dates of the festival. Oh, yeah. So it's the 25th through the 28th of 2025, but we are in our 22nd year of ROMP.
I threw too many number questions at you at one time. 22nd year of ROMP. How about that? That's really something.
Yeah.
And it's really grown into just a wildly anticipated event, I feel like, for people from all over the place. Do you have any idea how far away you've had attendees from? I would say just about anywhere.
Just a few days ago, we had somebody buy tickets who lives in England. There was another one. You know, we have a kind of a mini tour group coming from overseas, and they're coming just for ROMP. So it definitely grows every year, and we get people from all over.
So this is the part where I've got to let you go here in a second, but this is the part where I ask you for your own like insider picks on, at the risk of offending every other artist on the ROMP calendar. Do you have any things that you're looking forward to? I happen to know that you have a predilection for clogging. This is something I just learned
I do. So part of our education programming here is clogging. We offer classes, and we have a little group. And although we're not on the lineup, we do make our way onto the stage.
Is that right?
Yeah. That's my one request for the lineup each year is that we perform just for a few minutes, one song. But yeah, that's my part of the show, I guess you could say.
I may have seen this last year. And as a matter of fact, I'm sure that I did, because I'm not sure I've ever seen that many people clogging on one stage before.
Yeah, it's always fun.
Now, I noticed. Go ahead.
Oh, well, I'm really excited for all the new people coming to ROMP. And I think that's what's so great about a festival is that, we offer a really good variety, and you can choose to see everybody, or you can kind of pick and choose. And I think what's great is when you see the new people, they become your new favorites as well. So I always tell people to, even if you've never heard them before, sit and listen, because you're probably going to listen to them for weeks after ROMP is over. Yeah.
Erin Rouse is here from the Bluegrass Museum and Hall of Fame in Owensboro. The sponsors, creators, hosts of the ROMP Music Festival. I wanted to give a shout out to, this is really, it's kind of metastasized, not just the festival, but like in Owensboro, you've got a number of new interesting resources that I think are so cool. You've got Rick Ferris and the, I can't remember what it's called, Kentucky Guitar Works, maybe?
Kentucky Guitar Works, yes. Rick Ferris moved here over a year ago, and moved so not only is he an amazing bluegrass musician, touring musician, he's a luthier, and builds these beautiful guitars. And so in our old museum space, they've transformed it into his new workshop. So normally it's open throughout the week for you to go in and take a look and see what he's working on. But that's a really cool new addition to our town, and really special that it's in our old building.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. That must have been where the museum started before it moved to the River Park, I guess. Am I wrong about the River Park? Yeah, okay.
Well, no, so it is. That was our original location. And
right. I'm sorry, yeah.
Yeah, and then in 2018, this building that I'm in right now was finished, and we're really lucky to have this new space to.
Absolutely. Now, in addition to that, I want to shout out to a couple of my peer instructors. I'm a instructor for the Heinemann Settlement School, and that's how I met Scott and Lauren Napier, both
Yes.
of whom are galaxies better musicians than I am. And then Scott is, so Lauren I think runs the gift shop when she's not busy killing it with the Price Sisters.
Yeah,
And
well, she actually took over my position was. So
okay,
she kind of had a job change, and then I had a job change as well. So now she's our programs manager. So, producing all the shows, she'll be taking care of all the artists backstage at ROMP and everything. So she's definitely busy with that. And then Scott is doing a great job leading the new bluegrass program at Owensboro Community and Technical College. And
which is such a feather. It's such a cool
yeah,
thing. This
right?
program started last year, I think, right?
Yes, yeah. So we're lucky that there's just such a good energy around bluegrass in our town, and we've got a lot of support here, and that's really showing, and hopefully it just continues to grow from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, best wishes to you, Erin. Y'all are doing wonderful things there, and everybody's about to get a giant earful of that in June at ROMP.
It's true. It's true. We're ready.
I
We're
appreciate your
ready to
time.
romp.
What, ready to romp? Are we forgetting anything? Is there anything that we've missed that we ought to talk about?
I mean, we always just describe the festival as truly family friendly. It's kind of a choose your own adventure type of thing. If you want to stay up all night and dance the night away right at the front of the stage, you can. If you want to kind of relax a little bit, chill out, you can put your lawn chair a little bit further away from the stage. We've got kids get in free, and we've got tons of kids programming throughout the day. So basically, you can drop your kid off throughout the day. In the afternoon, you go do your own thing, and they've got it made, doing all kinds of stuff. And we've got a lot of artist workshops planned as well. So not only can you see your favorite artist performing, you can walk a little bit to our workshop area and sit right next to them and learn a few skills. So I think that's pretty cool. And
It really is.
not a lot
To
of
say
places.
nothing of like the picking circles. A lot of people come to like hang out in these picking circles,
Yes, for sure.
which are not exclusive to skill. And it's just an amazing social scene.
Yeah.
I did want to mention, you said something about the lawn chairs. I feel like for anyone who's never been to a bluegrass festival, the commandment number one is thou shalt not mess with other people's lawn chairs wherever
That's
they
true.
are.
That's true. And people abide by that at ROMP for sure.
Yeah. Erin, thanks so much for your time. It was great to have you on the show, and I'm sure we'll be in touch later. I want to get the new director on the show at some point in the fall.
Yes.
And but it's been great visiting with you.
Yes, you too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm going to let you go, and thanks again for being on Trivial Thursdays. We've got to get a little bit of a visit in here with Max Morris of the Kentucky Theater. So long to Erin Rouse of the Bluegrass Museum and Hall of Fame and ROMP, and take care. Have a great day. You are free to go. Don't leave town.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go